Hi class and welcome to week 6 of this course. So in this video, I'll be briefly going over this module, going over the materials that are presented to you as well as the assignments that are due. So let's get started. So first we have the learning objectives for the week. And you have one assignment this week, and this is the research paper, the health paper that is due. Remember, it could be on a national or global health challenge. And I just wanted to briefly go over what I expect in your paper. So first off, make sure to take the time to review the sample paper found in the assigned course projects content page in the student resource module for this course. Let's jump over there really quick. Oops, this is not it. Here it is. All right. Let me scroll up real quick. Now, for your paper, I do expect you to have a title page, table of contents, and a reference list with at least 5 sources. So here's the format you need to follow. Title page, then table of contents. Now, here we are. I want to point out the importance of having a thesis statement. So this statement provides the reader with the purpose of your paper, and it also keeps you kind of in line and staying on your, to make sure that you are staying on topic. You're supporting that thesis throughout your paper. It really is very important, and it really helps with the flow of your paper. It makes sure that you don't start throwing in information that is not relevant to the purpose of your paper. All right, so I'm going to slowly scroll through. Now, I can't emphasize enough, as I did with the outline, the importance of the in-text citations. First, you are giving credit where credit is due. Second, you let the reader know where they can find the information that you are presenting in your paper. You need to cite anything that is not of common knowledge. So when you start, especially when you include years, rates, money, like here, number amounts, you need to be sure you are citing it. Okay. And remember, when you can include direct quotes, but your paper should not have more than 20% of direct quotes. It cannot be throughout your whole paper. And remember that when you are citing a direct quote, you do need to include the page number of your source along with the author's surname and publication year. All right, I don't want to make you dizzy, but I am going to scroll through real quick here and jump. Oh, I missed it. Here is the reference list. Again, it does need to follow an APA format, as you also need to follow an APA format for your in-text citations as well. All right, so let me go back to this week's module. Other than your paper, which you will be submitting it through the Turnitin assignment link found in this week's module, remember with Turnitin, it is measuring the originality or the level of originality in your paper, and it provides you with a score. Your score should not be more than 20%. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions, again, don't hesitate to let me know. So you have 2 chapters that you're responsible for reading this week. The first one is on health service financing, and it really focuses on the role of healthcare financing and its impact on the delivery of healthcare. And then chapter 9 on integrated organizations, which really hones into the link that's found between the development of managed care and the earlier organizational forms in the U.S. healthcare delivery system. In this chapter, it also introduces you to the basic concepts of managed care and how managed care organizations evolved, how they achieved their cost savings, the main types of managed care organizations. So that's kind of the focus of chapter 9. Now, underneath the list of the assigned readings, you have your video lectures for the chapters assigned. So I'm just going to slowly scroll through. Chapter 6, I know, has 3 videos. It's kind of long, but there is a lot of information that needed to be covered. All right, so last but not least is our weekly checklist. Make sure to complete everything on this checklist before going on to the following week. Now I'm going to jump to the second content page in this module. So as you can see above are the PowerPoint presentations for the assigned readings, as well as the terms, the files with the terms from each chapter. And then in this section where we have some information from the chapter, here is a diagram that is just portraying the influence of financing on the delivery of health services. Below that is just some information which I am not sure where my graph is. I'm going to have to go back there and include that on health insurance status of the total U.S. resident population. And of course, with the Affordable Care Act, there has been an increase of insured people here in the U.S. All right, and then below that, still for Chapter 6, is a diagram on the integration of healthcare delivery functions through managed care. And then for Chapter 9, the first diagram is the evolution of managed care and some information. Make sure to take the time to read through it. And then the last diagram is on the care coordinated and utilization control through gatekeeping. And remember, when we're looking at gatekeeping, this is really focusing more on preventative care, right? Like routine physical examinations and other primary care services. And then when we're looking at secondary, like here we're talking about primary care, secondary care, we're looking more at referrals from the PCP or the gatekeeper to specialists. So the idea with gatekeeping strategies is really to help save money. It really has a lot to do with cost saving. And we have learned through the years that preventative care is very important to reduce cost. All right, so the next content page are the videos for this week. And let's get started. So the first video here is understanding healthcare costs. It's focusing on Medicaid. The second video is just goes over different healthcare terms and definitions. Below that is a video on HMOs, PPOs, and HDHPs. And the last video really just goes over the accountable care organization trends in healthcare. And how ACOs kind of, the model, the focus is really delivering high quality, cost effective care and improving population health management. So that's kind of like the gist of accountable care organizations. Now that pretty much wraps it up for this video. Remember, you do need to submit your paper by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Again, you could email me, text me, course message me. It all works. All right, take care, everyone. And I look forward to reading your paper soon. Bye.